If you're juggling work and life and trying to start a side business or get into real estate or do short-term rentals, I want to talk to you about the top 5 things I've learned in this journey thus far. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lydia, and for the past few years, I've kind of embarked on this entrepreneurial journey, and now we have this long-term rental in town that we manage on our own. We have a short-term rental out of state that we're also self-managing. I've built this YouTube channel that is so fortunately a creative outlet and also subsidized as part of my income while juggling work as pharmacist in the hospital and taking care of our kids. It kind of sounds like a brag when I say it like this, and it's really not. I sometimes get the questions from my friends in real life, like, how am I actually doing this? How do I find the time? And to be honest, it's really hard to give a good answer. So here are my top 5 tips of things I have learned throughout this journey that I wanted to share with you. And if you are in a similar boat, which I know a lot of you are, I hope you find some inspiration and some helpful tips and a little bit of a pep talk as you continue on your entrepreneurial journey. My first piece of advice is to focus on progress and not perfection. A lot of you watching, especially those of you who are in healthcare in a professional field, you have always been ambitious, you target this like really high-reaching goal, and I get it. It's good to have big dreams, but on a day-to-day basis, it's more important that you're taking steps to make progress and not worry too much about are you exactly hitting every single goal in every single quarter. There are definitely months in my Airbnb business where I feel like we weren't really hitting our targets, when I've made mistakes and surprises come up and then we had to backtrack and spend more time fixing something, or a bunch of times on this YouTube channel where I didn't really stick to my weekly schedule as I had initially hoped. Instead of letting that get in the way, I have found it really helpful to just break it down into small steps. So for example, today I will finish the script on X, Y, and Z, or today I will film this video and at least check that off the list. Will I be able to finish editing this video in a week and get the thumbnail ready and get all those other things done? Maybe not. But does that mean I don't make progress today? No. Instead of trying to finish everything perfectly, I try to focus on what can I do that will move this forward by 1% today. My second piece of advice is being intentional with your time. I'm filming this the morning of election day here in the US, and I'd be lying if there's not some undercurrent of like anxiety and a desire to doom scroll a little bit. But before going on autopilot and just picking up my phone to doom scroll, it's good practice to ask the question of, is this actually what I want to do? Is this helpful? Is this fun? Is it doing something for me? And if the answer is no, then there's probably a better choice you can make. I try to prevent this by just putting time limits on certain apps on my phone. The other thing that I've noticed intentionality is really good for is, for example, this summer, I took a break from doing YouTube videos. I took a break from analyzing whether I want to add a pool, and I took a break from building a set of templates that I've been wanting to share with you guys for your Airbnb business. Those things are still important to me, but spending time with my family and going on vacation with them is more important and honestly more fun. Because I intentionally chose to hang out with family and go on vacation with them, I was able to really be present when I was with them and really enjoy myself and get the most out of that vacation versus thinking, oh my goodness, I should be doing this other thing on the side. I should be like worrying about finishing this pool analysis to decide whether I want a pool in my beach house. I consciously chose not to do those things, and I have no regrets, and I know they will still be on my to-do list when I'm ready for them. It's a really good feeling and a powerful place to be, to say I choose to do this, not I have to do this. My third piece of advice / learning is charting your own path. I think when you're trying to build something, pursue a project, you are seeking information on the internet, wherever, finding inspiration from experts. And that's fantastic because that's the whole premise of watching things like Masterclass. These are people who have done it to a level that other people have not, and you can learn so much from their process, their philosophy, what they have learned, and how you can replicate some of the same. But while their expert knowledge is useful, it doesn't mean their life story is going to be relatable to what you're going to expect and what you're going to go through. Make sure you're not conflating the two, and don't feel bad if you are not at expert level, because truly, you and I, we're beginners. And also, I guess, side note, don't let this like chart your own path thing become so core to your identity that you start doing things just to be contrarian. It's also okay to sometimes choose the boring choice, do the things that other people are doing, because charting your own path and deciding for yourself doesn't mean you follow other people all the time or you contradict other people all the time. It literally means you are assessing all the options, mainstream and not, and deciding where in between you want to fall. I'm just looking at my post-it note. I rarely do videos without scripting the whole thing. I have done this only once before. My future self at that time, aka editor Lydia, really did not like it. So we'll see how it goes this time. The fourth piece of advice is to find inspiration from a broad range of sources. When I was looking into getting a rental property, setting up an Airbnb, I was learning a lot of real estate stuff, which was all very tactical and useful and applicable at the time. But there are also other adjacent topics that are relevant. So business things was relevant, personal finance was still relevant, productivity, they're kind of all adjacent topics. And then beyond that, I was also finding inspiration from watching people talk about interior design, how to negotiate with people. I also got a lot of inspiration attending a conference for women in medicine. They didn't necessarily talk about real estate investing or starting a business, but there was still so much I learned from connecting with people who are truly badasses, who overcome so many challenges and achieve great things, all the while looking amazing and being authentic to themselves. Whatever project you're working on, try to seek a broad range of perspectives and not get too rabbit-holed into one small thing. Think of it like a well-rounded diet that has balanced nutrition. My final piece of advice might be boring, but it's super practical. And that is to have a stable backdrop to the stage that is your pursuing entrepreneurship. It cannot be overstated how amazing it has been to have like fairly stable income with my job, other investments on autopilot, such that my experiment of entrepreneurship with managing a short-term rental and building an Airbnb business and building a YouTube channel, all of that is bonus. All of that feels like I can take risks and I can do whatever I want out of passion, out of what means something to me, out of what feels fun, instead of from an angle of fear, anxiety, and stress where you need to get something out of it, otherwise the next month you can't pay your bills. The scarcity mind drives weird decisions that aren't always the most creative or honestly the most rational. So if you are like me, building something on the side, give yourself the gift of keeping something else that is really stable where you can then experiment and have fun and have that freedom to be able to look at your new ventures with a long-term view and take it where you really want it to go. If you're one of us, a professional with a side hustle, I'd love to hear how things are going. I hope everything is well in your world. And if you have some advice for the rest of us, I would love to see that. Please leave a comment below. I hope you're having a really good day, and it's time for me to go pick up the kids. So I will see you again next time. Bye!